Hello, hello, hello. It's the Sheena Cantor and Bobbi Jo show. I like that.
I love it.
The Sheena and Bobbi Jo show. It all rhymes. I'm a poet and I don't know it. So how you doing today, Bobbi Jo?
I'm doing good. I love the afternoon ones for me. Yay.
And I'm like, and I love the evening ones for me.
And that was continuing from yesterday, what we talked about, which is really today, but we're not going to put it out there on YouTube. So you have to go back to yesterday's, but we talked about the story. What are the stories that we tell ourselves? And so what we were saying is that, we just tend to go into the negative. We tend to think a lot. And so we thought maybe we'll just talk about the self-image here and who we are and who is it that we want to be and who is it that because again, I feel like these 4 years of mindset, really paying attention, was just everyone else's garbage on me that I was like, that's not really my belief. I don't really dislike that or like that. And I always come back to this, and a lot of people, I have one friend, she has like 5 or 6 Louis Vuittons. I don't know about over there, but over here, it's a signature piece, right? Wealth. And it's, I think if we were all on an island and you showed us all these pocketbooks, I don't think that we'd like the brown and mustard yellow one, thank you. I think we'd want the blingy one and the sparkly one and the pretty one. But it's the prestigiousness. You don't even want the Louis Vuitton, people. You just want what it means. And what was that? Because it was a cultural paradigm, at least here in the States, that represents a certain something. I say hogwash. Don't pay attention to that. Drop into you and your authentic you. And so the self-image is really big. And I think when I first did it to who I am now is so different, but not like I've always been a friendly girl, I'm always happy. But there's so many different little changes. So take it away, Sheena.
And that's it about the self-image. I mean, we were talking before yesterday about stories. And you see, it's one thing writing out the story, but it's another thing matching yourself to the story. You've got to walk the walk, and talk the talk, And like one of the lessons we have is like praxis, like, well, you want to believe this, but you're acting like that. Like you just can't do that. It's like I've been before with relationships and they're saying, but I love my husband. And then she turns around and criticizes him. Well, that's not love but we don't see it because we just think, well, that's how we've been taught. So now I'm just passing that on. So what I realized was is that when I like the words in the Bible are know thyself. When you know everyone. And so when I realized who we all are, we're all the one thing, omnipresent, infinite intelligence itself. And we're playing the finite part. I'm playing the finite part of Sheena, and Bobbi Jo's playing the finite part of her. And we get to choose, or so it appears, how we want to be. So, but there's something inherent in us anyway, Bobbi Jo, isn't it? When you look around at people, people cannot help but be themselves. So sometimes we get caught up in that and think, I need to be like them. Just like you said, like I need to be like them, I need to be like them, I need to be like them. No, who else could you be but yourself? And when you start to rest in yourself and be the story, because where did your story come from? I had a client say to me, but if I don't tell the universe what I want, how's it going to know? And I said, well, where do you think the idea came from in the first place? You had to have been in resonance with it for that idea to have hit you. And where did it come from? You didn't make it up, like you didn't create you. You're not breathing you now. So where did the idea come from? Why don't we just rest, bloom where we stand? We've said that before, in the beauty of you. And it's okay, like if you're having a miserable day, be okay with being miserable, because I tell you what, you won't be miserable for too long. It's only whenever you beat yourself up and attack yourself for being, well, you shouldn't be miserable, I should be this and I should be that. Well, what the heck? So only the righteous will enter the kingdom of heaven. My clients say, you keep quoting the Bible, and I go, I've never read it. I just keep getting, ideas in my head. And I go, what does righteous mean? And it means feeling right as yourself. Now,
Hmm.
is that not heaven? Because most of
Bling.
the time we feel freaking wrong, don't we?
Yeah, we have to do a reactions on that. Bingo. Whoop, whoop. Blow the bears. I like that. The righteous of that. Oh, yeah, who you are. I don't know.
Feeling
Keep going.
right as yourself. Yeah.
Mm, I have no words. I just think, yeah, it's still unbecoming of everything, I just don't, I have no words on it. There's so many words in there right now. You take it away.
Well, whenever my client said to me, she said, "You hit the nail on the head, Sheena, whenever you said that you feel wrong being you."
Mm,
And I said that I knew there was an underlying current and I didn't know what it was. And then one day I just woke up and I realized that I just felt wrong being me. I was wrong no matter what I did. I couldn't make, certain people happy, not without naming names, certain people happy, etc., etc., etc. And then you go to school and you can't make them happy unless you're flipping A+ student. And then you go to work and then, you can't make that everybody, because you're trying to make everybody happy and you just can't. So you just walk around generally feeling wrong.
yeah.
So imagine that baseline vibration that's going through you, and then you're trying to build on top of that. But what if we just cleared all that away? I'm not the me. I'm not the me I think I am. I'm not the me you think I am. I am the me I think you think I am.
Hmm.
If it's got to be, it's got to be me. So I better know who me is. And me has been calling out for hello, hello, see me, the spirit of you, the spirit of Sheena, she's here. But oh no, you keep going to other people, other things. But the spirit of you is the one that's doing everything. And just acknowledging her, that's all we have to do, really. And then the love of that, I actually realized, Bobbi Jo, that the self image, if we just loved ourselves, we'd see ourselves.
Yeah. And I agree. I agree. I had the same upbringing. My story is that I'm really kind of mean stepdad who passed away about 7 years ago, and he just did a number on me. I can't believe I've led the beautiful life that I've had. I wasn't spoiled as far as given stuff like that. I've had to work for it, but I've had the grace of God on my side looking back now. And right, Steve Jobs says that looking forward, you can't connect the dots, but looking back, I mean, I just feel like all the right people came in my life. And you hear people who have passed on the other side of the light maybe and come back, and they say that that's what life is. It's like a stage, and like people are waiting on the side for it to come in to tell you your story. And so I really beat myself up, and I used to have friends that be like, dude, you must have been an abused animal in a former life, because I was just always like negative about myself, always looking at the bad things. I mean, you can tell right now, what you see is what you get. I'm not anything bad. And so it's taken me these 4 years for my stepdad to pass away, and then just to get involved in all this mindset stuff that had me have the awareness of every day, of every thought, my poor husband, but that to really just love
Oh
who I
God, yeah. The
am.
poor man who had to listen to us for every day for 4 years. I've got the answer. I've got the answer. I've got
Well,
the answer.
at least we're not bitching and complaining, right? Like, at least like we're just like, well, this is it. And I mean, my mom, Sheena came to visit me last April for like 3 weeks. And my mom, I know, she was like, you guys talk really weird. She was like, don't have conversations like other people. I'm like, I know. Like we just talk, and then sometimes we're just making everything up. Like, oh, the jet will be here this afternoon to pick us up at 6. We got to get ready.
We're going
Champagne
to
will be on
Milan for lunch.
So the self-image, it's really important. And I know this is like a whole lesson that Sheena and I coach on. And I actually have a client, she's on it for her second time, and she just has been on this time around, she's staying on it 3 weeks. Like she's just, the first time you go through stuff, you just like learning. And then the second time, like I know I've gone through it a few times, but Sheena, you've gone through thinking into results like what, 15 times at
12
least?
times. 12 times, yeah. So I could almost read every page to you right now.
I know. And then her mind, I have this weird flashing thing every time I move. Do you see the light? It's bugging me. Anyways, it's, it's my personality sparkling. Your self-image. So who are you? Just love you. I used to not do that. I was being my stepdad was like derogatory towards women. He grew up, it's not his fault in a way. He'd be close to 80, right? I think he'd be 81 right now. So it's that generation of the 50s and how they grew up. And if you watch the 50s, we had Leave It to Beaver. I mean, mom and dad were sleeping in separate beds. I mean, so it was a different time then, I'm sure for over in Europe too. But so he just grew up with that. And so I've always just felt like a piece of crap, basically. Being a woman, I was nothing. I was worthless. If I didn't know how to cook dinner, I was never going to find a man to marry me. Isn't that a great one? Never find a man to marry me. So I went out and I moved all the way from Boston, basically Cape Cod, to California. I was like, get me the heck out of here at 20 years old. Became a massage therapist, and then I discovered the whitewater rafting, which is hence this look. I have friends who used to be raft guides with me, and they do corporate America now in the cities, and they're like, dude, you still look like a RAF guy. And I'm like, it's just who I am. It's my personality. Why do I have to put on the makeup and straighten the hair just to curl it? Like, this is who I am, right? So that's the thing. Own who you are because it's the vibration that comes through. If I'm second guessing myself, like, oh, do I need to put on mascara? Do I need some lipstick? Just own you. See that? That's what I love about. I'm gonna jump here. You're like, where did she go with that? Football players, American football. I know it's not soccer, it's soccer here, but I'm talking about the real American football for us. All these quarterbacks look so handsome. And I'm like, oh, why are they all so hot and sexy? And I just think it's like who they are. They're good at what they do, and they just own it, and that beauty shines out. It's not the physical beauty sometimes. I think it's just people who, when they really are in their own authentic selves and owning it, they just look gorgeous to me. What
That's
do you
it.
think?
And that's what, so I did this modeling thing yesterday. And it's so funny because, I was so relaxed. Like I went for the experience of it. I'm 54, I'm 5'1", I'm seriously not taking myself seriously. But anyway, when I got there and they were just going, why haven't you thought about modeling before? And I'm like, yeah, I'm 5'1", I'm 54, like seriously. And they just went, no, but you're the mature model. And that's what, you could do this. There's lots of work out there for you. And I went through the photo shoot like I'd been a model my whole life. I was just like, yeah, just stand. I'm so good at being told what to do, and I just do it, and that's it. I'm a good follower sometimes, but for stuff like that, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm literally taking what they say. And the pictures were absolutely amazing. And Bobbi Jo, one of the things I really noticed about doing the self-image work was that before, like, so one of the first set of pictures with no makeup on, just a plain white t-shirt and my jeans. And when I looked at myself, I thought, you are so cute. I felt I didn't, it wasn't like an intellectual thing. I felt it from my heart. I saw Sheena from like a third person, because I've been working on the inside. And then there's somebody takes a picture and I looked lovely. And then there were the different things. When you said about curling your hair, she curled my hair, and I've never had my hair curled like that before. And I felt like the bee's knees. I mean, it looked completely different. And they took all these pictures, and I went, oh my God, you look lovely. And then they did the pink dress one that had my hair up. And it was just beautiful what they did. And I just saw one of the pictures, and in my heart, I felt the love inside me. Just what you said, like the beauty came from the inside out. Now, this is a girl who used to walk past the mirror and go, oh, you look like your mum, you
Hmm.
know and I couldn't stand in front of the mirror for too long, and especially without makeup. Then I would absolutely just go, oh, you look like your mum, and criticize myself. To looking at myself with no makeup and how she made me up, I felt the love. That's what I saw, Bobby Jo, was the love that came out of me. um you could see it in the pictures, and I was just thinking how much I've changed. Now, nobody else may have noticed anything, but I have. I
Yeah.
have.
And that's all that matters, right? It's about ourselves and not proving anything to anyone else. And that just made me so like happy and sad at the same time that's why we have this community to have people join that know that you're perfect the way you are. But you said something there. Is it an Irish thing? Bees knees.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what is that? Bees knees. I love it. I love the cultural difference here.
I
And it
don't
was
even remember saying it.
really
It's so funny. The bee's knees. Yeah. Just like, oh,
it,
look at me. I'm the bee's knees. I don't know where that comes from.
rhymes. I was like, bees don't even have knees.
Maybe it's something to do with blooming where you stand. Maybe the bees are on their knees. I don't know.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then you brought up one thing too, and this has nothing to do with anything, but the first time I met Sheena last April, face to face, I looked at her and I was like, oh, you're taller than I thought. And she's like, you're shorter than I thought. And it was so funny because she's 5'1" and I'm 5'7", but we both like, I thought she was like 4'10" and I was like 6 foot, but no, it was pretty funny. You're taller than I thought. You're shorter than I thought. I love it. I love it. So, love you. That's the moral of this story today. It's just love you where you're at. And what is it that you don't like? If you're not happy with something you're seeing in the mirror, that's another thing. Okay, here it is. It was beat up on Bobbi Jo. You'll get I used to be called antelope ass and thunder thighs. So every time I look in the mirror, I see my fat. Now I got guns, okay? There's not fat there, baby. But I look at it, I go, oh, there's that jiggling underneath. Oh, there's that little that there. And it's not. If you saw me, I'm a beautiful girl, but I've held myself back. And that's a whole other discussion about the mechanism in our brain, the cybernetic there, the mechanism that it's like a thermometer. no matter if I lost or gained, it always comes back to this one plateau of where I felt safe. Ooh, I like it just cozy right here. If I'm too skinny, I'll be too beautiful. Oh, I can't be that. So this is the story. So pay attention, have the awareness. What are your stories? What is it you really want? And then create her, be her, and act as if it's in the present tense now. And that's the stuff that we coach, is that you start writing out everything that you want. How does that feel? And then how does it feel? I mean, we're just going to be covering all this as we go along. Tune into us Monday through Friday. We'll be coming here on YouTube. Sheena's trying to make me a page right now that's Conversations with Sheena and Bobbi Jo, or the Bobbi Jo Show, or the whatever show, whatever. We're just here to have fun. Leave us a comment, leave us a message. We'd love to reach out. We'd love to read your stuff and talk about it here. So for now, that's all I got. Have a great day.
Yeah, and it's goodbye from me too. So listen, have an awesome evening, day, wherever you are, and we'll catch you next time. See you now.
Bye.